Yo, bro.
He says
How's it going?
it's going pretty good. It's crazy down here. Do we want to even talk virus stuff? Do you think people are sick of talking about it, or do you think it's still something that people like to hear about? And what's going on up in your end?
Well, you know what? I think it's actually mixed reviews. I'm hearing from some people that they're just really getting tired of hearing coronavirus this, coronavirus that. And there's other people who are like stuck to the news just to see what's next, what's happening, why is it, what's going to go where. And I guess we had our first case in Western PA of coronavirus, and so I know a lot of people were like, "Whoa, no!" and uh, and I know a lot of businesses and the schools up here have closed for 2 weeks, and a lot of businesses are starting to take some proactive stances of if you're doing this, do that kind of stuff. What's your take on it?
Well, I am. I don't know what to think. I'm getting all these sort of conflicting messages with things, but we are in so we're in a resort part of Florida, and spring break is happening right now. So we have this situation going on with the foot on the gas and the foot on the pedal at the same time, because the coronavirus panic is sort of pulling people out of the system and bringing people away, but at the exact same time we've got spring break going on, and all these college kids want to come down and have a great time on the beach for their week. And so it's a very interesting mix. It seems like the spring breakers don't know whether to how to show their exuberance. So normally for spring break they just run around screaming for the whole week, and you know kind of just letting out all of that pent up spring dynamics. And it's not uh it's not working here because they they want to be respectful because of the coronavirus, but they on the other hand they want to display their exuberance. So we've got a lot of conflicted young people here.
That's funny.
So what would you advise them, in your counseling practice?
Advise on what?
If
On
they were
how to
coming to
act
see you and
or
saying, I've got anxiety, I'm on spring break and I want to have fun, but I also want to be respectful.
well, I really think that as long as you're using proper good hygiene and washing your hands and trying to reduce crowd size, I mean, that's kind of like what everybody's been saying. And you use, smart thoughts and don't just kind of ignore that it's there, but, don't stop having fun until they say to stop having fun. So, I mean, I think a lot of spring breakers who are very, very worried about it more so than not won't actually go on spring break. The ones that are, let's wait it out and see what happens, might still go out and have some fun.
Right. Now, sis, can I put you on the spot a little bit? Because do you regret slash miss slash have any sort of ennui about not ever getting to sort of do the spring break thing?
It's a yes and no actually, because I really didn't do the full college experience, and some pieces of me kind of missed that whole, you know, on campus brick and mortar fun that's supposed to kind of go along with the college experience. And part of me also goes, been there, done that. It's okay if I don't do it.
Right.
The age thing is kind of like catching up, saying, I don't care.
But you
But
didn't
yeah,
think so at the time.
at the time, I probably, was more, "Oh, man, I really want to." Now it's, uh,
What
I'd be in
yeah,
bed by
what
9.
you know you're getting old when, deciding what kind of soup you're gonna eat is the high point of your, day.
Right?
And then saying to yourself, "Oh, hey, I wonder if there's furniture on sale."
Or, "Wow, I really stayed up late. It's 10 o'clock."
So, yeah, I think, it's very interesting. It's been about a century since maybe the last time we had a real, um, intense influenza epidemic. So I think 1918 was the last one that was really big, and it really affected a lot of people. So, I mean, nobody knows how this one's gonna turn out, but, you know, in the 1918 one, I think hundreds of thousands of people died. So, there's, some reason to be concerned, but, you don't on the other hand, you don't want everything to shut down and stop either because then that's a tragedy of another sort.
Right. Well, and
So
also too, you have to keep in mind that back in 1918, we really didn't have the medical knowledge that we do now. Um, Asepsis techniques were just at the early stages, and not considered taboo if you used running water. Um, so I really believe that with the ability to give more information on a larger scale instead of word of mouth, what could help with this. Now, will it stop the virus from doing damage? No, but I think there's a possibility that it can slow it down enough that we can get on top of things to manage it in a little bit better way than back then.
yeah. Well, but to counterbalance that though, we have this situation where we have probably what, 10, 15 times more people though. So a lot more people in closer proximity.
True. And you have to also keep in mind too, whenever you're, kind of doing the numbers, the ratio of like how many people have been affected and or died from this and stuff, in comparison to the outbreak back in the early 1900s because of the population. You know what I mean? You have to keep that
Right.
in consideration as well in comparison to and kind of adjust the figures accordingly, you know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. So we'll see how it plays out. I don't feel like I have any special insight as to whether it will go one way or the other. Obviously, I'm hoping and praying for it to not be as severe as it absolutely could be, but I certainly can't tell.
Right? It's hard. Yeah, I mean, it's I completely agree with you. It's going to be just what it's going to be and we have to kind of let it take its course. And you know, we had the fears with other viruses, um influenzas and things of that nature, and they were able to we were able to recover, we were able to adjust, and with medical advances have some protection for it. um, so I think it's just this one's a little bit stronger and a little bit harder to not get, but I think we have that ability again to deal with it as it comes. So being conscious is important. Being self-aware, and I think being respectful of your own health. If you are not feeling good, don't go out, even if you don't feel like you might have it or not. And that's always been the standard, regardless. It's just that we have such a work ethic, I guess you could say, or this structure that we have to go to work no matter what. And so we end up then taking it out and spreading it along. So I think just being conscious of yourself is an important piece in this whole pandemic that's going on.
Yeah, and do you know I don't know this. Do you know the difference between an epidemic and a pandemic?
Pan means all.
Okay.
So I'm assuming all over, all out, compared to an epidemic where it's just in a specific spot.